Everybody thinks the sports card hobby is about ripping packs and hitting big cards, but nobody talks about the deals that go wrong or the money you lose along the way learning the game. This podcast isn't about fame or highlight reels. This is about the real side of the hobby. This is the Out of the Hobby Box podcast. I am your host, T. Wales. I'm here with the owner of B&B. Introduce yourself, my guy.
As always, Steven, a.k.a. Stewie. And this is episode 4.
Episode 4, guys. We are on episode 4.
Sure.
Things are continuously growing.
Absolutely.
Since the first episode, that is a shout out and a testament to all of you guys that are following and loving what we're doing. We certainly appreciate it. We are doing it for y'all, man. We appreciate all of the love on social media. Everybody that comes in the shop and says they like what we're doing, we appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to our sponsor, CitsEZ Cards. All right, let me correct myself from last week. I was reamed by Zach and Chandler, and I said it's CitsEZ Sports Cards. It is not. They want it known that they do more than sports cards. So it is CitsEZ Cards. Again, we're going to put their logo right here so you guys can see it, just like we did last week. If you're listening on your radios, we realize you can't see it, but we will tag them in the description. So go there and click to get all of their information. But shout out to those guys.
Yes, sir.
Zach and Chandler and CitsEZ Cards. All right, if you guys have anything,
not Pokemon,
yeah, not just sports, absolutely. If you guys want to buy, sell, trade, they are one of the premier. What do you? I don't want to call it a businesses. I guess one of the premier businesses.
Vendor.
Vendor.
They're a strong vendor.
One of the premier vendors in this area to work with. They actually did a very big show that was in Norfolk at the Scope this weekend. They did very well there. One of the better vendors that they had on site. So check them out, guys. Anything that you want to see as far as sports cards, Pokemon, One Piece, or TCG, they have a plethora of high-end sealed product and great singles
easy
as
to
well.
work with.
Absolutely easy to work with. See, it's easy. There
appreciate
you go.
the sponsor, guys.
Yes, appreciate the sponsorship from them.
And if anybody else wants to sponsor,
yes,
just let us know.
Say it again.
As Zach, it was just a little cheap investment. You got a shout out a couple times a month.
Come on,
it's
man.
easy.
Absolutely.
Tell them that Zach. It's easy.
It's easy. See,
and by the way, you can lock that
it is
so
easy.
It stays open.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep tapping it. It is what it is. It is what it is. We're not that professional yet. We're still, just doing what we do. All right. Anyways, if you guys do want to sponsor us, hit us up in the DMs. Message us on any of our social media platforms. The link tree will be in the bio. Let us know. We would love to sponsor your business and shout you guys out. I know there's some shows coming up. If you want to shout out, let us know. All right, so first thing I want to talk about, man, let's get into our week in review, man. What kind of week have you had? How's the week been for you? What do you got coming up? Just how was your week, man?
Yeah, the shop was steady and busy as always. Yesterday we worked, I know it was your day off on Tuesday. It was nice, to be honest, to have a slower day. As much as that sounds weird a little bit, it's been constantly people flowing in. We're having big days where, Pokemon has absolutely picked up again.
Yeah.
It's been hot, but it cooled off a little bit. But honestly, ever since some of the social media stuff with Logan Paul and everything, and we were talking to Justin last night again, it's just stuff. 151 has gone up 25% in the last week or two. So Pokemon's been really hot. Baseball's starting to pick up like crazy. Obviously, we're getting really close to opening day with that. Football, basketball, kind of in those weird periods. Basketball's always kind of a little slower, but the shop has been busy. Everything's been busy. People have been telling us that we need to get more cards because our showcases are looking a little low some days. Yeah. But we're looking to always buy, guys. We're always looking to buy, trade, and sell. So,
and that's something we'll talk about a little bit later. In one of our main topics that I want to talk about is just that, like you said, we're a little bit low in our showcase, right? And the balance between buying and trying to accumulate more money. Right, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, you and I.
Yeah.
And we'll get into all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's been a crazy week.
Yeah.
I mean, like
we did have
said,
Rip Night.
Yeah, we did. We did have Tops Rip Night. Absolutely, that was a
huge success.
A huge success. So for those of you that don't know, Tops Rip Night, if you looked on social media and you could just search the hashtag Tops Rip Night, it's a night where Tops sends a ton of celebrities, both athletic celebrities, regular celebrities, movie stars, all this kind of stuff to different big shops around the country.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we're not quite at that level yet. But like Cooper Flagg was at a shop. I know Cody Rhodes was at a shop here not too far away.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Frank actually took a picture with his son. That was pretty cool. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. I saw Drew McIntyre was in Richmond, I think.
Yeah. There was huge athletes everywhere.
Yeah, so they send athletes, and we have a huge Rip Night. We participated in Rip Night, which was great. I mean, we were open from 11 o'clock till 8:30, I think, that night or something like that. We were
rocking all night.
We gave away a bunch of hobby boxes. We did some drawings, and I mean, we just had people coming in and out. Man, we let people set up. We cleared our tables off with all the value boxes, and we let people set up. It was really like a glorified trade night.
Yeah. Family came in. That was awesome to see.
Yeah.
Check out our Instagram with tons of your kids on the pictures. So that was awesome.
Yeah. We Annabelle came in and ran the shop, which she runs everybody's life when she's in it. So shout out to my daughter Annabelle. She always watches. She always points to me when she sees me on TV. So, but Tops Rips Night was a huge success. Again, check out our Instagram for a ton of pictures. Again, God, what we have 6 giveaways, 7 giveaways?
I mean, just alone and we gave away T-shirts. We were giving away silver packs, hobby boxes. I think one of the top prizes was the
Eminent, the
top
Eminent baseball.
I mean, Frank, you could pull Ohtani out. I got to ask the guy. He messaged me. I got to see what he pulled out of that. I mean, it was just amazing to see a lot of new faces come through and like, oh, what's going on, or didn't know about it, and to experience it, and just their kids come in and get free cards. I mean, who doesn't love free cards?
Yeah,
I mean, honestly. So it was just awesome to see, the community come together all day. We had pizza and drinks for everybody as well on the house. Yeah. I mean, it was just, it felt nice to have something where it was like, you don't have to come in and spend any money.
Right.
We appreciate people that did come in, and most people do.
Of course.
But you could come in, hang out, sit down and just talk about or just talk about what's going on in life. I mean, that's what like the hobby is about. It's not all about the money, making money. Obviously, that's great, and we've talked about this before as well. But the community coming together and the hobby coming together, and just one big day of like having fun and ripping and kind of not worrying about anything in life.
Yeah, and that was the best part for me of the Rip Night was getting to see, because you have customers that come in, maybe once a week or twice a week, right? Maybe once a month, twice a month, right? Maybe once every other month. But it was cool to just see the influx of customers, regulars that we have, just all in there at one time and talking about the hobby and sharing, what they love. I know Chef was in there for a while, and he got to share his collection with some younger kids that were really impressed with some of the cool stuff that he has in his collection, which was awesome.
We got to meet Miss Chef.
Yeah, Miss Chef came in. Miss Chef came in as well.
Yeah.
And she ripped some stuff. She had a blast, and apparently now, here's the thing with the hobby. Once you start ripping stuff, you're addicted. Right?
Oh, I mean, case in point, I wish, if you can make this work, post that little clip of Connor when you pulled the card for him.
Oh, yes.
Connor, one of our breakers at the shop, him and his girlfriend love ripping packs together. They absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. And One Piece has been hot lately, so they do Pokemon in One Piece. Tim opened a pack for them and hit a huge card, and you would have thought Connor was a 6-year-old kid. The way he was like, "Oh my gosh!" It was.
I at least have to find the screenshot of the both arms out.
Yes,
like he just won the World Cup.
Like we're gonna put him sliding like Messi.
We at least got to try to put that in.
But that's what that's what it's about, though. Like literally, Connor's a grown man. But it was awesome, Connor. I'm not joking you at all. It was just awesome to see. Like genuinely, he was excited about a card.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was so cool.
Yeah, and there was a ton of that. There was a ton of that night. A ton of cool stuff pulled. A ton of people just hanging out, just
Just cool memories, man.
Absolutely, man. Something I won't forget for sure. So shout out to Tops for putting that on. I think it's like once a year, right? They do it
at least once a year. Yeah, we do like smaller ones, but that was like one of the bigger ones. Yeah. But be on the lookout. We'll be posting about the next one for sure.
Yeah, and then send us a WWE superstar. Tops. Can we work that out somewhere? Can we get?
I'll even
take Batista. I mean, send Batista if you have. I don't care. Send Trish Stratus. Send I don't care. They don't even got to be active.
Send Trish Stratus. Like, can we get? We got Trish Stratus, Lita, or Kelly.
Either one, man.
No, Stacy Keibler.
Stacy Keibler is good too. Or Goldberg. Send Goldberg. Let them spear some people through some tables. We got extras at the shop.
But thank you, Tops, as always. For a great night.
Absolutely. So that's kind of our week. I know I got some big stuff coming up, man. Baseball season's getting ready to start with my son. I think we're actually might be sponsoring some of his sports team, putting some boxes in the concession stands and things like that. Just any way that we can try to get back out to the community here, rolling into the summertime. We're gonna start doing for sure. But baseball season starting. Elimination Chamber just ended with WWE. So we're on the road to WrestleMania now. So that's a whole nother topic down the road that we'll talk about.
Okay.
Not today, but
I'm gonna have to do some studying.
Yeah, you have to do some. Yeah, don't worry, man.
I did see Randy Orton
over on a Monday night.
I did see Randy Orton.
He did win. Randy Orton did win. He's like 50 now. He's like 50 now, but that's okay. Yeah, you'll have to come over on a Monday night. You'll have to catch y'all up on all that. We'll talk about that in the future. But moving on to kind of what we kind of touched on a little bit, we'll move on to kind of our first main topic of the podcast here. And that is, I know, you talked about our showcases being a little bit empty, right? And obviously, everything that we do kind of really revolves around, success. A successful business is revolved around the bottom line, right? At the end of the day, every business is looking to successfully make money, right? That's the goal at the end of the day, right? Yeah. All this other stuff, trickles into that, the relationship portion that we always talk about, are we priced right? Are we priced wrong? All that kind of stuff goes into it. But it's kind of a tricky slope that I think like I said, you and I kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday through text, that there's such a fine line between, what's more important really, right? Like keeping our showcases full and reinvesting our profits into the business, or are we really, profiting, right? And so what's we want to see money in the bank. We want to see money stashed away, right? But in order to succeed in this hobby, and this is why I wanted to talk about it, because I know there's a lot of you out there that watch that have your own business that do vend and that sort of thing. Like, is there a certain percentage that maybe you say, okay, I profited, 50% this weekend. How much of that percentage do I put back into the business? Because at the end of the day, to make more money, you have to buy more cards, right? Sure. Or more wax, or maybe I got to hire a new person to make me more money, and that's going to cost money. But what's kind of the dynamic as far as what we do? What do you think is important, right? Is it keeping the cards in the showcases and keeping that train moving, or the bank account moving up?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like you said, you don't open up a business to lose money or to just break even. Since we've owned the shop for 3.5 going on 4 years now, we've really realized, like, especially since sports cards have blown up and everything, like, it's not as easy. I mean, owning a business is not easy. No. Like, we've talked about this before, but just like, it's not all bread and butter. It's not, you see these big deals, you see these people coming in nonstop, you think you're killing it, but the margins on some of this stuff is just so squeezed and tight nowadays, especially with the allocations like we've talked about. We try and keep that bank account filling, but it's just an endless cycle. That's like, we've put a lot back into the business, like us as B&B. Obviously, we're getting paid salary and stuff, but like for investment wise, we haven't really pulled anything out. I really wish we would have a picture of like from start to like where we are now with what's in the shop and everything. And we're getting close to like outgrowing the shop in a way. Yeah. Which, is a little bit scary because, like, if we need bigger space, that's always going to count for more money. Yeah. So, breaking it out, it's very, like, you try and make as much as you can, obviously, on everything and try and fill the bank account up. But as soon as you put money in the bank, it seems like it's coming right out.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, just to kind of touch on what you said, I just watched a video with Card Collector 2 at Burbank. I don't know if you saw that video. And Burbank is probably the biggest card shop in the entire country, right? And the way that they inventory things and they keep track of things is absolutely ridiculous. It's something that is maybe no other card shop in the country does or has the ability to do, and somehow they figured it out, right? Which is great. However, I heard him talk about some of the same struggles that we deal with as a smaller shop as far as Pokemon is concerned, and TCG and even some of the sports market is like, as soon as your first run of stuff is done, you have to be right back out on the market for the next thing or the resupply of what you just got. And unfortunately, the second time you go out to buy it,
it's higher.
You're really buying at market, right? So yes, sometimes things are a tad more expensive than what you see on maybe TCG Player or Card Ladder or whatever the case is. It's because when we went out to go buy it, we had to have it for the customer, for the consumer. And when we do that, sometimes we have to buy at a higher premium than what we did initially. And it was so cool to hear that from one of the most successful business owners in the country when it comes to the shop, that he struggles with the same stuff that we do.
Yeah, and it's like kind of like, if you guys checked out our first episode, like with Showtime, where we go to other shops, my biggest thing is, and I love asking this question, is how do you guys keep track of your singles inventory? Because I or Damien or Steve or you, anybody in the shop, if you could tell me how you keep inventory of singles, because we can't figure that out. I mean, I would love to keep track of every single, but it's hey, I know I bought this in a lot. I know what percentage I pretty much paid, a rough idea. What's the market? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Showtime was the same way. He was like, there's no way when you're buying, unless you buy one card at a time, which is not a thing really. It's almost like Burbank is one of the only shops, and I've even watched some of their old videos where people will pull out cards out of their showcase and just say they have a 5,000 sticker on it, and they go back and they're like, oh, it's a $3,000 card now. Like, and that happens to them too. So it's not like
absolutely
we're the only ones sitting. Of course. So it sits and comps change.
Sure.
It is extremely difficult for like inventory wise, just laying on that part, and it's. I know we kind of got a little bit, but it's like you said, it was cool for Burbank to say like, hey, like sometimes we just want to, struggle with this too. Hey, we pay close to market, but we want to have everything accessible for everyone. Even with supplies, we want to make sure that they come in here and we have it for them, is what he said.
Yeah.
And, I thought one thing that was really cool though, is they have the electronic, the digital price tags there. Yeah. And they can change them from the back, which I thought was amazing.
Which I think is awesome too.
Which I don't know how much something like that is.
Yeah, we'll have to look at, I'm telling you, when we get back, we'll hop on Amazon today and see what that
Because I thought it was just really cool that he said he could go in the back and just digitally change it like that.
Literally like every morning you go and you can check and see.
Instead of Steve.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's awesome. And that's, I think that kind of goes off of, and again, I know we're going off a tangent from kind of the original question, which we'll definitely circle back around and kind of close that question out. But I think it also has it depends on the size of your company, right? If you look at the two that I can think of off the top of my head that really, really good job of doing this and watching their margins and doing a good job of figuring out how much money needs to be reversed back into the business as opposed to the money that you keep in the bank account to save and pay the owners and pay the people that have invested originally, is, Cards HQ in Burbank. And the thing with them is you go in their shop, they have 1 million people working, right? And you can designate one person to say, hey, your job is to inventory these cards and restock them, right? I mean, he had a guy like, what was his name? The restocker, Mike the restocker.
It said he's been doing
literally
this like
on the back
years.
of his shirt, it says like showcase.
All he does is restock Pokemon.
Yeah, that's all he does is he just restocks the shelves, right? And that's his job. He's even got a jersey with his name on the back that says restocker. And that's the difference, right? Like in our shop, it's just me, you, and Steve, really. And between the buying and the selling and the trading and the wax and the social media and everything that we have to do, it's difficult for us to kind of accomplish that, if that makes sense. So I think as far as the money is concerned and putting it back, there's always going to be a balance for you guys, you vendors out there, you anybody that has their own business, whether it's sports cards or whatever it is, honestly, right? It's like, what's that percentage? That's something that I struggled with when I did this on my own. Is okay, I know I spent $500 on cards, and this weekend I made $800 on those $500 in cards that I spent. How much of that $300 profit am I flipping back into this business and buying more cards, or am I giving to my wife and saying, go get your nails done, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I've earned that, right? I've earned that $300, and I can take that and spend it somewhere. But then what am I going to do at the next show? Because now I don't have the inventory to do that, right?
It's definitely a snowball effect. Like, and it's just like, to kind of like gauge with what you're asking in a way, like it's a hard question to answer, really, because like, you know, if we have money in the bank, we're spending the money. Like, it's like we're never not buying. And like, even if it was like, hey, like a big lot comes in, that's just say a 6-figure lot comes in,
right?
And you know, the money's not there in the bank, or we can't, like, we're gonna find a way to make sure that doesn't walk away.
Yeah.
Whether it's like, hey, like, you know, get a loan, borrow. Like, that's another thing. Like, people don't realize there's a lot of borrowing that goes in, or like, hey, I'll wire you by money. You know, there's a lot of that goes on in these big shows. Obviously, you know, people aren't just, you know, dishing out $100K in cash, you know, at these shows, whether you believe it or not. But like, there are guys that do that, but other guys, hey, I'm going to wire you on Monday because the bank's closed today. So there's a lot that goes into things. I mean, we've talked to Justin about this, like, that does huge Pokemon deals, and you know, it's, you know, a lot of it's just like the banks, like, you know, hey, let me, which a lot of people don't like, but like, you know, we try not to do stuff like that. But, you know, if it was like, hey, I know we did one deal, just for instance, that was like, you know, it was a $70,000 deal, and we kind of we got the deal, but we, instead of us dishing out all the cash, it was like, hey, you send the money to him, we get the cards, we sell it to you, you know, kind of thing. So, but just, we're just cycling money. I mean, it's just in and out, in and out, in and out.
And the reason why we bring this up, guys, is because I don't think it is an exact science, right? To kind
Not
of,
for us yet.
To kind of close it, and I don't think it is an exact science, right? Now, what works for you might be different than what works for the next guy, right? You might want more money in your pocket, and the next guy might say, I got plenty of money in the bank, and I'm going to put everything into the business.
Yeah, and then also it's like we have a shop, so it's a little different than like just regular vending.
But let us know what you guys think, man. Put something down in the comments. Let us know what you think that percentage should be, right? Like, if you think you should be putting 50% back into the business and taking 50% profit, or if you think you should be putting 70% of what you make back into the business and continuing. Because at the end of the day, without putting something back into the business, you're not going to be successful, because it's going to be the same stuff that people come to your table and see every week that haven't sold, and you don't have anything fresh or new for them to look at and for you to profit off of. Put down in the comments what you guys think, what those percentages should be. And who knows, man? Maybe we adopt some of that. I don't know, because like he said, we haven't figured it out, and I don't know of a lot of people that have made it an exact science. But either way, we're always trying to add something new in the shop. We're always trying to get new inventory in for you guys. So once we figure that out, we'll let you know, which means we'll probably let you know, because we probably will never figure that out, because it's not an exact science. All right, our next topic I wanted to talk about. Let me get this guy's name real quick, because he comes in the shop, and he's an avid watcher of the podcast, and I have it right here on YouTube. I believe his name is Luxury Tax 4, so shout out to you.
Yes, sir.
But he comes in all the time. He enjoys the podcast. He spends hours with us looking through the value boxes. At least he has the last couple of times he came in, and he had a good question for us. And I think it's something cool that we should talk about, right? And it's really less me and more you, I guess. Okay. But he had a question, and he phrased it like this: like, obviously we are where we're at right now in the business, right? We've taken our lumps. I know I've been here for not the whole time you guys have been open, but I feel like a majority of the amount that you guys have bought the shop and where we're at now. And you know, we've seen our lumps, we've taken our lumps, we've had our wins, we've had our losses, and everything in between that, right? But if you could start over, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently as far as the business, the opening the shop is concerned? What would you do differently knowing what you know now? Woof is right. Woof is right.
That's a strong question. What would I do different now opening? I think what I would have done or what we could have done different is possibly have a little bit more of a game plan going into the shop.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of different ways I go with this, but like this, like I think we took over an existing shop.
Sure.
We kind of broke it all down and, for the most part, redid what we wanted to do. And we were kind of just going with the flow. Like one day Steve was like, because like the first break room that was built, we weren't like deciding to put that in there, right? Steve was like, well, are we going to do breaking? And I was like, yeah, probably. Like, we don't know. Like,
yeah, right.
And he was like, well, should we build like a 10 by 10 break room? I was like, that's the best thing you've...
See, that's new to me. That was Steve's idea.
That was Steve's idea.
See, that I would have never guessed in a million years that was Steve's idea.
Exactly. Like me and Damien, we had a lot of thoughts going in. Steve would, say, but he was just going with the flow more or less.
Sure.
But he was like, well, if we're going to do breaking and we're doing like construction stuff now and ripping up floors and walls now, why don't we just build up a 10 by 10 room? And I was like, yeah, like this $10,000 investment to build this room is going to pay tenfold.
Oh, dividends.
In the future. Like even if we use it as an office at first or storage, whatever. Now, so I think because then we should have built like 2 rooms. Like now we have 2 rooms.
Right.
But we didn't build that second room until later.
Yeah.
So I really think like we were very aggressive jumping in. Like we wanted to like get in, start turning like, and we, again, like I've said in the other podcasts, we didn't know what we were doing.
Right.
And I think the main thing is, not that it was bad that we got in there and started doing things and, whatever, just growing as the business grew. But I really wish we would have maybe just sat down and had more of a game plan of what, like this, and this. We were debating every day, like on something like, oh, should we get this for the floor? Should we do this for the wall? Should we, instead of being like, this is what we're doing,
right.
And, another thing is I wish, we would have jumped up on just more of the TCG earlier on. I've talked about this. Like, listen, you got to really listen to what the people want.
Right.
So, or what they're asking for. So if people are like, hey, do you have Pokemon? Hey, do you have Pokemon? Do you have Pokemon? And that's a constant question that it took us, a year to really be like, maybe we should get some Pokemon, So really listening to your audience and like what your customers are saying, because in the long run, if they want 80s baseball, all of a sudden we got to get 80s baseball. Yeah. So that's a great question. There's a lot of things that I could probably say and that I would have done different, but those are mainly like, I really wish that we would have just been a little bit more,
strategic
with everything. Cause like, and the shop is great, like right now, but it's just like, we've kind of gone like, oh, add this, add that, add this, add that, which is great. And the shop is like, a shop will always
ever
be
changing,
like that.
sure.
But maybe just to have like a little bit of like what direction we wanted to go with it.
And I think like you said, I mean, that's
a tough question.
It's a tough question. It's a great question though, because it's one of those things where you sit and you look where you're at now, and you can always look back and say, I wish I would have done something different, right? I wish I would have done this different. I wish I would have done that different. That's almost anything in life, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, shoot, I wish I would have done my college years different, but here we are, and it is what it is.
You can't go back, right?
No, you can't go back. You always have those memories, and some of them are good, and well, most of them are bad, but we won't talk about that. But yes, I mean, I know I've talked to you multiple times about, we have so much inventory in the back, right? And a lot of it has been boxed up. And luckily, shout out to Jake and the guys from Vegas, and they came and helped us clean some of that stuff out a couple months ago, or whatever the case was. But, when I talked to you about it, it was, dude, when we first got the shop, we just bought anything and everything, right? Yeah. Because you needed it. Yeah. And that's one thing that, I think that you're kind of, referring to is like, maybe I wish I was a little bit more strategic in the stuff that I bought at the time, right?
That's a big one.
Because that's something that now we have a surplus of some of that stuff in the back that maybe you didn't necessarily need because you didn't see what was coming in the future. And it's almost impossible to see what's coming, right? Or how fast you guys grew and how fast you guys started to take on really good showcase cards and really nice, inventory and stuff like that. So you didn't necessarily maybe needed the more lower end stuff. So
that's one.
I mean, it's always something I like to pick your brain about, right? Because starting a shop is I think I say this every single time we do an episode here, is something that probably most of you that are out there are thinking about doing or have just recently done or want to do, right? It's kind of the trendy thing in the hobby right now. Is let's find some place to open up a business, right? And by all means, go for it, right? We've had people in our shop, Raul, for instance, who has just taken it upon himself, and he's, he had a side business. He was a vendor for a while and did the whatnot thing, and now he's jumping into that. And we wish him all the luck in the world, but it's hard, right? And any advice that this guy can give, because he's been through it, we want to be able to express that to you guys and say, hey, this is what I wish I would have done differently. Yeah. I thought that was such a good question that he asked.
Yeah, and like one other thing to kind of like live on to that or whatever you want to say. But like there's, with other shops popping up and such, and like even in the area, whether it's a smaller, little shop or some massive shop, like just making, partnering up, even with, or not, it's not partnering, but like, just communicating with these other shops.
Sure.
For like instance, Collectible Kings and Heroes and, Raul and Gene, like me and Gene sat down and talked about, you help me, I help you, kind of, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I think that's one thing that we also, off the rip, me and Steve, as we were in the shop, we would be like, oh, forget that, like if it was like Heroes or something. But like we built a relationship with Jason before, and now, we're great friends with them now. And, we've bought stuff from them. They bought stuff from them. I wish, earlier on, we didn't have that mentality. Because at first the mentality was like, exactly it's us versus them versus us. Sure. But now it's like, we live in a military.
Absolutely.
Like, there's millions of people coming through. Everyone can do well. Everyone can make money. And at the end of the day, I truly realize, yes, I want to make money on this, but that's not what it's all about. It's the community. If I can make a decent living and go to sleep at night, that's why Steve says, I ain't going to lose sleep at night. Lose sleep if he mispriced a card or a box, what am I going to do? Cry about it? So I think that's one thing also that, like, I wish we would have done a little bit better earlier on, just like, again, not partnering, but just like the communication with other shops that we have now. Right. Because I think we have great connections with all the shops now. I wish we would have done that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I mean, there are within you always say, within a 15-minute drive from each other, you have
there's at least 4 or 5.
Yeah, at least 3, 4 or 5 shops. Now you add, like I said, Dimes and Gems out in Norfolk, and
shout out.
What is it, SNL and Chesapeake and Greenbrier, and you got 4 or 5 shops within a 15 to 25-minute radius that you can drive to and shop, right?
And that's not even like TCG stuff,
right? Exactly. I mean, that's not including the TCG.
You got Kaboom, Booster Box. You got just shout out to all these guys.
Comic
Kings across the street. That's just a few that we know about.
Right, right, absolutely. So and that's the thing, right? It's always looked at when you first start a business or when you're in it that, I'm in competition with so-and-so, right? Because we're all really almost, I don't want to say trained, but we're almost like brought up that way to where like, hey, I have to be better than the next guy, right? Yeah. And that's such a mentality that nowadays can be so detrimental to your business.
Oh yeah.
Having that kind of mentality, which is part of the reason why we started our series on YouTube, the Hobby Hotspot series, is because we do want to get in, and not only do we feel like we may be able to help somebody out locally, a Collectible Kings or a Heroes or whoever. We not only can we help them maybe promote their business a little bit, but we can learn something from what they're doing. 100%. Right?
I love going to other shops.
Absolutely, and that's something that we look forward to doing, and that we want to continue to doing. So for you to say that, I mean, not only is that. I mean, that's a mature ass statement to say, if I'm being honest. Like, hey, I wish I would have built better relationships with the shops around me instead of thinking everybody's just competition.
Right.
That's a mature thing to say, but it's also a very important thing to say, right? Like, I think maybe every podcast episode we'll ever have, we'll talk about relationships, because it's really the most important thing in this hobby.
It's the biggest thing. So like, and like, I appreciate you saying that, because like, I feel like in my time, like I'm about to be 30, which is crazy. In 2 weeks, I'm gonna be 30.
Old, baby.
They still call me babies too.
We want to talk about me.
But I'm turning 30, and it's just like I was sitting there talking to my mom, and I was just like, I feel like, for the last 10 years, I've learned so much just in my 21 and up year. Like, I've gone through this and that, and opening a business, and doing some real estate. It's like, I've really seen myself grow. And it's kind of cool. Like, I mean, and like for you to say that, I really do appreciate that. Cause like I was, when I was in my younger 20s, the immature, thought I was, excuse my French, but I was the shit because I thought I was, cause like you said, we're grown like as humans to be like, I'm the best. You suck. Like I'm gonna be better than you. But it's you move past that, and everyone can do well. Like I've really learned that in the last like 5 years of my life. So
no,
and it's also surrounding yourself with the right people.
Of course,
I mean, you surround yourself with the right people, you can learn a lot.
I've seen a huge difference in the Stewie that was, even when I first got there almost 2 years ago now to now, right? There's so much growth. And I'm not trying to toot your horn so much where people think we're in love and put little heart emojis over us or something. Josh, don't do that, man. I know you're watching. Our engineers in the next room, he's going to put hearts and stuff all over. Don't do that, man. All right, don't do that. But yeah, I've just seen a lot of growth in you in multiple aspects of things, and it's really helped the business grow, and I can't wait to see where it continues to go. Right?
I appreciate that.
It's gonna be great. So at the end of the day, to kind of wrap that up, I mean, as far as what you would have changed, starting over again, I think being a little bit more strategic is a great step. So if you guys are thinking
for any
about
business,
if you guys are thinking about opening a brick and mortar or starting your own business, have a strategy, right? Plan it out, write it down. If you have to, know what you need to do, know what you need to spend.
Take those extra steps and like that's a big one. I'll cap it off right here with whatever you think you're gonna spend. Double it just in case, because there's always going to be something.
Always,
I promise you that. You rip up the floors, you're going to realize there's problems down there. Oh, the AC just went out. There you go. There's 16 grand. Yep, I promise you that's how it goes.
That happened from experience. That's happened. We also had a circuit breaker go out and almost catch fire in the shop, which we were not expecting. If you remember that,
there's a $4,000. That's what I'm saying. So always have backup money or income or access to something, because something will go wrong.
And a backup plan too. Obviously, if anything goes wrong, you got to have a backup plan for sure. So again, guys, put it down in the comments.
That was a great question, though.
Yeah, it's an absolutely wonderful question. And put it down in the comments, guys. If you guys have anything that you want us to talk about, like that was a question I would have never thought of, right? And I don't know why. It's just maybe I would have thought of it 6 months down the road. But he came in and he said, "Guys, I think this would be cool to talk about." And as soon as he questioned it, I said, "Wow, that would be." Excellent. In fact, normally, I don't know if you guys can tell. Normally, I don't give this guy any prerequisites of what we're going to talk about, right? I plan out the whole show from the beginning to end, and I know what we're going to talk about, but I don't really give Stewie any kind of hints towards what we're doing, because I like to do it off the cuff, right? I like to kind of freestyle a little bit and really get his in the moment reactions to some of the stuff that we talk about, because I think it's very important that he doesn't have some kind of, premeditated response that he could just, stand up on a podium and give in front of the, like he's at the NFL Combine and trying to get a job for a football team, right? No, just we're going to be real. We're going to be authentic, and we're going to bring it to you just like it is. So he doesn't know about that. This is one question that I did prep him a little bit for.
And I still wasn't ready.
And he still, you can tell as soon as I asked him, he was like, dang, I probably should have thought about this a little bit more. But, I mean, that's cool, because, again, your emotions will come out in the moment, and you'll get the real response. So
yes, sir.
All right. So red light, green light.
Okay.
Our segment that we brought up last episode.
Yep.
And it was the red light, green light segment is a segment where we're going to talk about either products or players or cards that you should be going after, or that you should be staying away from, right? This week's is going to be pretty simple. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I do want to bring it up, right? And we're gonna kind of transition from players to wax. For those of you who don't know what wax is, it's unopened boxes, right? It's boxes of cards that you can buy in a hobby shop, maybe even in retail. So we'll start with your what we call green light. What do you want to go after? What is a hobby box or a product that you feel like is beneficial for you to rip open or go after, that may be worth your money, that you may be getting your money back, or at least close to? Because at the end of the day, guys, if you guys don't know this, opening boxes of cards is like gambling in a casino. Mm-hmm. it is the ultimate form of gambling, where you may spend $700 and only get $30 back. But then again, you may spend $200 and get $1,500 back.
But it's fun.
You don't know, right? Man, I really hope I have this picture of you. But last week, Stewie opened some One Piece in the shop, about $360 worth of One Piece sleeves, and walked away.
No discounts.
Walked away with a $45 card. And that's the form of gambling that we're talking about, man. So maybe that might be on your personal red list, your stop list. But what's on your go list?
Definitely baseball. I'm gonna go baseball here, and I'm gonna do a product that you love, or one of the best ones that you love. So you know what that is. I think Pristine right now is a great product. Yes. We've been ripping a ton of it in the shop. The Breaker's been going through a lot of it. It's Pristine's always good though. Yeah. So, but like this year, just I mean, I feel like the price is is equal to the last couple of years, so it hasn't spiked up like crazy, even though it's starting to jump now. Pristine's one of those products where you can hit something very big, but I feel like you always walk away with a solid amount of hits, good value,
really good value.
You got encased numbered cards, you got on card autos, you got your bat autos. Excuse me, sorry. I mean, we've seen a couple one-on-one like super fractors come out and they're beautiful. Yes, you're paying maybe a little bit more than some of the other hobby boxes, but I just feel like the value is there pretty strong. Again, ripping wax is always a gamble. So like you just said, but Pristine has been amazing. Besides that, I'll just throw in I think Series 1, even though it's just a flagship, for the value, it's a good chase. It's a good rip, especially if you're chasing the jumbos with the manual chase. How could you not rip open a jumbo?
Or if you're trying to collect sets, that's a great
and
product.
I don't think people really realize you get a lot more short prints and stuff than people realize that. You check all your cards because they might look like base cards, but they might be, the vintage Topps logo or something.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of my green light. What about you?
Yeah. My green light right now, I think I'm gonna go one of two things. Probably just the main one is probably soccer, right? Okay. Soccer products, I think, with the World Cup coming up here soon, I think are going to take off. Okay. Right?
Well, they've already
they've already started to climb a little bit in the shop. We've noticed. And I think with the World Cup being such a international phenomenon, honestly, I really think this product now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we really haven't had that a World Cup that's like the hobby is hot right now, right? And I don't think we've actually had something of this caliber happen and coincide with the hobby being so hot.
Yeah, I will tell you, when we first took over the shop, which was going on, the product that came the World Cup was already happened, or it was just something with the World Cup was just going on. And they came out with a product that they came out with Prism World Cup, and it went bananas. Right. I mean, it coincides, like you said,
coincides.
Yeah. So this 3.5, 4 year mark is going to be where soccer in the world. Sure. So because when we first took over, we were still new. We were like, oh my God, this case is up to it was up to $12,000. Yeah. And we were like, oh, we got to sell it.
Yeah, you got to sell it. Yeah.
We were like, what's going on here? But yeah, I agree 100%. Soccer and the World Cup now, and how big soccer is nowadays in the last 3 or 4 years that it's grown. Yeah, soccer is a great buy.
100%. Soccer, if you guys even aren't into soccer, man, start learning soccer a little bit, because I'm telling you, the cards are going to be expensive. The hobby boxes are going to start to climb, and you're going to be able to get a ton of value out of that stuff, because really, even though we say the boxes are climbing, they're really not that expensive now. They're
not yet.
Really affordable. Not yet. And baseball, again, Pristine coming up. Anything baseball with the World Baseball Classic, which is getting ready to happen again on an international level, is going to do nothing but take those products up as well. For me, my red light, something you guys can stop, not worry about picking up for me personally, is Panini football. Topps is, you're probably on the same page. Yeah,
e-brake on the football.
Pull that e-brake on the football, especially. Which
is crazy.
Panini foot. Topps really hasn't released anything recently, but Topps is getting ready to take over the license within the year, I believe.
No, within a few months.
Within a couple months, April timeframe, right?
I believe it's April. Yeah. We're in March.
Yeah, so
I'm e-braking on everything football right now. Yeah. Me personally, I'm buying singles. I'm e-braking on anything wax, because there's a reason why Topps hasn't released anything. There's a reason why Panini's dumping everything.
Yeah.
Todd's about to take over football, and I'm really excited to see it. Nervous at the same time.
But it's going to be expensive.
Mate, I do think so.
If it's anything like Topps Chrome basketball.
Right, but this year's class for football.
That's fair. There's no Cooper flag.
So we're going to see, and who knows, you never know what Topps got up their sleeves, but I'm saying get ready for Topps football.
Yeah.
Because when that comes, there might be a little uptick in sports.
110%. Can you imagine Topps pristine football? Topps, let it go. Release it, please.
You know what I'm excited about, and then we can move on, is Triple Threads football.
I mean,
dude,
there's so many possibilities with Topps and footballs, guys.
Triple Threads football was so Topps Chrome football, Topps Chrome football.
Yeah,
they already came out with Topps Chrome unlicensed, and look how it did. Yes. Oh my!
So
God.
Are we really saying green light this too, or what are we doing here? I think we're just transitioning to let's get it. Right.
Topps.
Topps, okay. Stay away from Panini football.
On the Panini football until Topps comes out.
Go on the Topps football.
And I'll listen, I want you to buy everything in this store. Guy asked me, how many can I buy? Buy it all. I don't care. But e-break right now.
There you go.
And there's really not much.
No.
Yeah, Optic and Select came out. You even look at Select football right now is $600 a box. Okay? Why was it over $1,000 last year when it first came out? I mean, it just the pricing's kind of showing.
Yep, so. It's
but come buy one.
It's showing. We got to shop if you want. Might as well get it.
That's my red light too. Panini
so there you go. Our red light, green light segment. As far as wax is concerned, we'll come up with something next week. And then
maybe I'll come up with one.
Yeah, maybe you should come up with one next week.
I'll throw you a curveball.
I can't. I was never really good at hitting curveballs. You throw me a fastball, and I'm lacing it. All right. So our last segment here before we close out episode 4, our last segment, the Out of the Hobby Box segment. This is always a segment every week where we talk about something out of the hobby. This one is going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. It's brought to you again by CitsEZ Cards. Not CitsEZ Sports Cards. It's CitsEZ Cards, guys. Go check them out for all your buying, selling, and trading needs. Again, let's put the logo right up here. Ding. There you go.
Looking for the guy with the beard.
Yes.
Sorry, Chandler.
Go and check them out at any of your local sports shows or Pokemon shows. They sponsor this next segment, the Out of the Hobby Box segment. Now, I just recently made a purchase at a show.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know where I'm going with this yet, but I bought a Japanese. Do you know yet? No, still no. I bought a Japanese Pikachu version. Do you know yet? Still no idea. A Japanese Pikachu version of a Nintendo 64. Okay. Did you even know that I got that? I think you knew that. Yeah, hopefully you did. Anyway, shout out to Adam who comes in the shop all the time. He hooked me up on a good deal on a.
It's got like a ton of games.
It's got. I got some games with it. I got the WrestleMania 2000. I got the WCW versus NWO. We got some. We got some Pokemon Stadium stuff. Anyway, that. I'm sitting at my couch this morning, like, man, what can we talk about that's kind of out of the hobby today?
Okay.
And I see my N64. And I said, you know what? I want to know what your favorite gaming system is of all time and what your favorite video game was of all time. Since you were a little tiny tot.
This is easy.
What is it's easy. Let's hear it.
It's easy. Because it was like one of the first games that I got. All right. So when I was like, I'm going to say like maybe 6 or 7. You know, the big old TV screens, right? First, before I get to the game, my parents had the big, like the 50, 60 inch, but the box TV downstairs. That sat on the floor.
Speaker on the bottom.
It had both speakers on both sides. That was like the big thing back then, right? So we hooked this thing up. PS1.
Okay.
Hooked up to this big TV.
Okay. I remember the little flat.
Yep. Yeah, you got to put in the red, yellow, white. Otherwise it didn't work. And then it goes pew with the little P. And you want to know what my game was?
What?
Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels? Dude, that is not what I was expecting.
It was I don't even know if it was called Hot Wheels or not at the time, but it was the big cars in the big. It was the racing game though.
Okay.
It wasn't like like the little Hot Wheels like where you're in Andy's Toy Story.
Right.
Going around. It was I gotta find it, but it was like 2,000 Hot Wheels.
I'll send it to Josh. And I'll have him put it on the screen.
I'm telling you, man. And it had, I guarantee you, if I pulled that game up right now and started playing, I would remember the course. I would remember the sound. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go back and you're like, I remember everything.
Listen, I'm with you. Okay,
Yes.
I'm with you. I don't know how old you were, but that feeling that you got where you're like, okay, I got the buttons in my hand. I'm seeing the game and it's all coming back.
Oh, I remember this.
It happened to me when I was playing WrestleMania 2000 with the boys.
Yeah.
And I'm, of course, demolishing them because they have no idea what's going on. Because on the N64, their little hands don't realize that, okay, this isn't a PlayStation. I need to hold it here or here or here. There's yellow buttons here. There's A, B. There's L and R. Like, there's a Z button on the back. Like, what do you hit? Right? They're clueless. They're just button spamming at this point. So I roll out next to the ring and I said, wait a second. I think if you hit up on the yellow arrow, it grabs a random item from the stands, and then you can hit them with it. And bam, pulled out a trash can. And I said, oh my gosh. And the boys were like, Dad, what are you doing? Don't hit me with that. And the next thing you know, I mean, obviously I win the match. That's not my favorite game of all time. However, I do know that exact feeling. Like I no clue going into that I would remember that. But as soon as I stood next to the wall on the outside of the ring, I said, I can grab something from the fans. And I did it. And I beat them. Very bad. And that's a lesson also. Let me tell you, whenever you become a father, okay, and any of you out there who are thinking about starting a family, if you have boys, even young girls, whatever the case is, don't ever let them win, right? I'm not a fan of letting your children win any competition. They have to earn it. My son is 17 now, okay? He's 17, my oldest, and he now regularly beats me at MLB The Show. He never did growing up, and he hated it.
You make him cry.
I used to.
Yeah.
However, now he makes me cry. And it's so much more, he gets so much more satisfaction out of that because he never won before. But the time when he won the first time, he knew that for 10 years, my dad never let me win.
Yep.
So when he wins, he knows he actually wins. It's not like my dad let me win, right? So don't let your kids win, guys, okay? I'm getting a little off on it.
I'll tell you, like, because you said something about WWE. I used to have, like, WWF 2000, whatever it was, Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
But to be honest, I was always so afraid to play it because of The Undertaker and Kane. I'm not going to lie. It scared the crap out of me. So I went with Hot Wheels, man. I'm going to have to find
it again. We're going to look it up today, guys. We're going to put it on the screen for y'all so you can see it. If we have it, we'll put it up again right now just so you can see it. But my favorite game of all time, okay, we got to go to the N64. We're going back to the Nintendo 64. And I don't even have it yet. Okay, I have to find it. There's two games that are eluding me, which are my two favorite games to play of all time. Okay. Now, I have Donkey Kong Racing right now. Wow. Yeah. And I was told by Adam, and Adam, if you're watching, it was a lie, but that it's basically like Mario Kart. No. It's not the same, okay? Mario Kart is one of the best games ever made for any system. That's my game. That's my number 2. And it's tied with 007 GoldenEye. That's a crazy game. When you get your four buddies together and you're at the 4 screens and see
Stop staring at my screen.
Here's the thing. The kids had no idea that there's an actual golden gun. So when we're playing each other, they have no I just go for the golden gun and they're like, "How come I have to shoot you 20 times? You shoot me once. Don't worry about it." Right? Again, not telling any secrets. They got to find out on their own. However, my number 1 game of all time on Nintendo 64 is NFL Blitz. Dude, it's the greatest game of all time.
Is that the one with Barry Sanders?
No. It's the one. I don't know if you remember, but you can do the behind the lateral pass, right? You pass backwards and then you pass deep. And then you can just throw people all over the thing. There's no rules. It's just street football in NFL gear on an NFL field with absolutely no rules. And that's awesome. Something that I can't wait to play my kids on. And they get so upset that I'm pass interferencing, I'm face masking, I'm doing everything that's legal in this game that they think is illegal. So shout out to the Nintendo 64. We're actually having a party for Tucker at the shop on Sunday. We're bringing the N64. We're gonna play some games, bringing a PlayStation. We're gonna have a little gaming party at the shop.
I'm gonna have to come break some kids' hearts.
Yeah, that's my plan. That's my plan 110%. So there you have it, guys. That's the Out of the Hobby Box segment brought to you by CitsEZ Cards. Again, guys, thank you guys so much for sponsoring, showing us love. We love y'all and appreciate y'all. Check the link in the bio, guys, for all their information. Yeah, that does it, man, for episode 4. How you feeling?
I think it was a really good episode.
Yeah, we've actually got some. Maybe we'll update you guys on the next episode. But we got somebody had called the shop asking about the podcast.
That was crazy.
A couple days ago, and we have a meeting set up tomorrow. So there may be some big things coming our way. Some marketing things. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how the meeting goes tomorrow. We'll update you guys on the next episode.
It's some big news, and they might see us.
Yeah,
on the news.
You might, maybe we'll see. I don't know. You may have thrown that out there for him, but we'll see. We'll update you. Did my voice just crack? I think so. But we will update you guys on the next episode.
Make sure I really like. I might even put it in the shop though, real quick. It's like a little drop box of questions to pull out of a box, because that one question that you hit me with came from the shop. So again, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys check us out. Leave any questions that you want us to talk about or topics that you want us to talk about down below or in the shop. Let us know. I'm always asking, like, people are like, oh, the podcast was awesome, great. Do you suggest it? And they're like, oh, it's great. Give us suggestions.
Yes.
Give us questions to ask. I mean,
feedback.
Yeah,
constructive
we love
feedback, whatever it is, man. We want to make the show easier and better to watch for you guys. And we want to talk about what you want to hear, right? So definitely let us know. Put it down in the comments. Come in the shop. Let us know.
If you want Chief here, you tell us.
Oh man, you want
that
Chief
is
here.
My goal.
Oh, the goal is to get Chief
to sit right here. I don't care if I have to sit on the couch. Chief will be on an episode by the end of the year.
Yes, 100%.
A full episode.
That's our goal. For sure. Well, listen, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning into episode 4 of the Out of the Hobby Box podcast. All of our information is below in the Linktree link. Click the Linktree link. All of our social media, our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, whatever you need to follow us, our eBay, our website, all of that stuff is there down below. Check us out, guys. Give us a follow. Again, comment, subscribe. Shout out to CitsEZ for sponsoring yet another episode. That's it, man.
That's it.
We're good. On to episode 5. See y'all next time.